What concerns you the most about the Seahawks?
The receiver core, I mean, obviously, and Kenneth Walker. Like, it's obviously them not having their 2 starting tackles is going to help with their offense not getting off like that, but they still have weapons, man. They've got weapons out there. You look at DK Metcalf, you look at Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and then you have Kenneth Walker in the backfield, man. There's a lot of guys out there that can hurt you. There's a lot of guys out there that can do a lot of different things to this defense. So they're gonna, obviously it's gonna be easier to get pressure on Geno Smith, but you're gonna have to make sure you get it done. You're gonna have to make sure you get him off the spot, make sure he's not comfortable, take care of business. Because it's going to be rough if you don't. If you don't get to Geno and he's able to go through his progressions and make things happen, they have a lot of weapons and a lot of guys that can hurt you. So the biggest thing for me is the skill position players for the Seahawks, man. They got some studs out there.
Yeah, I think I hate to sound like arrogant and like just that confident in the Detroit Lions. It almost feels crazy to say, especially with this team who's whooped us the past 2 years. I guess last year was kind of close, but still, they put up, 38 points on us? It was disgusting. I'm not that concerned. I mean, if there is anything, it's definitely the wide receivers. I think the run defense bolstered up from the back half of last year. I mean, we have the numbers to prove that. Not a single running back ran for, I mean, Saquon Barkley. I think only mustered up like 13 or 30 yards against us when they played him. And Saquon Barkley led the league, or was like 4th in the league last year. Like the Detroit Lions defense, the run defense specifically, shored up the back half. As much as I respect Kenneth Walker, I guarantee he's still able to make some moves and make some plays because he's that elite of a player. I'm not that concerned about him. It is the wide receivers, though, just because that does feel like the weakness. Now, you watch the Kansas City Chiefs game, and yeah, we won by 1 point, and yeah, it was on the road, but the drops were a conversation because the drops happened. The wide receivers were open. They just dropped the damn ball.
Yeah.
And those are wide receivers that we mocked heading into that game. These wide receivers, I mean, we mock them still because we're assholes, but like DK Metcalf is no one to sneeze at. I know I sneezed earlier. And you got Tyler Lockett. He's no one to sneeze at. And Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like those are all respectable names that could do damage for you, and it does concern me.
They also don't have Patrick Mahomes being able, or they don't have Patrick Mahomes being able to place the ball like he was that night, hitting Kadarius Toney in the hands just to have it drop. They don't have the strength on the offensive line like the Kansas City Chiefs do. So there are a lot of different factors to that. I don't think that Geno Smith's going to be able to read through his progressions. I don't think Geno Smith's going to be able to make all these reads. First of all, he doesn't have the arm talent or the sheer will to make things happen like Patrick Mahomes does. Mm-hmm. And the offensive line was weak already, and now you're missing your 2 tackles, more than likely. Geno Smith's going to be running for his life all day on Sunday.
I mean, we definitely say that in a situation where the tackles are missing, and you're not wrong. That's kind of what I hinted to at the beginning of the segment. But, like, last year, 48.7 of that came from Jared Goff, shout out. But 48-45 was the final score of that Seattle Seahawks game. I'd love to disrespect Geno Smith, but back-to-back years now, the Seahawks have put up 40-plus points on the Detroit Lions. And Pete Carroll's a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's also a winning coach at the collegiate level, too. He's 72 years old. I mean, he's knowledgeable in the game. He's one of the best. He just is. Like the team that last year, no one expected that out of him. I thought he could have won head coach of the year over Brian Dable. I mean, they both did respectable jobs, but like freaking Tariq Woolen, a rookie. Mm-hmm. And I got Devon Witherspoon out of that to that too. But Charles Cross, a rookie as well. Kenneth Walker, a rookie. Like it was a young team.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith started for the first time as like a true guy with no one else behind him besides that one dude that was in Denver. Can't think of his name, but I like him because he likes Jeezy.
Yeah. Drew Lock.
Yeah. I mean, that's about it. I guess I respect Geno Smith, but like you said, in a scenario where those tackles are gone, I'm not that concerned. Especially with I have Kirby Joseph and CJ DJ, 2 guys I consider playmakers in the back. If those passes were made or catches were made, those guys are there to clean up. You've seen Kirby put somebody on a fucking helicopter. You see how aggressive Isaiah Pacheco ran. CJ DJ put him out of the game, had him injured up until recently, right before last week's game. We're good.
Yeah,
we're really good. I mean, I love the question. It usually is one you want to look at when you want to look at things objectively, but without those tackles, man, I'm really not sweating these guys at all.
No, Geno's going to be he's going to have to make quick decisions. He's going to have to make quick reads, and now that we've got guys in the secondary that can make plays on the ball, it makes it better for them because they're not going to have to cover as long. They're going to be able to jump routes, and if he does throw it late and deep over the middle, you've got guys like Kirby Joseph and Chauncey Gardner in the back end of that'll go after there and get to the ball. So I'm not worried about it at all. The one thing I am worried about is Kenneth Walker, is if we're too dialed into the pass rush, if he can get going. that might not stem well for the Lions off defense.
Another thing too, we're gonna have upwards of 300,000 people, fucking lunatics in that stadium with ski masks on, screaming at them every single time they hit the field for offense.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest advantage. Like, is the home field advantage that the Lions will bring. I know there's no doubt in my mind that place is going to be rocking. We've said it all week, and we're going to continue to say it. Then we're going to come back Monday, and we're going to talk about, damn, how crazy was that atmosphere? That was one of the best sports atmospheres we've ever experienced in our life. That's what it's going to be for them Monday. So, and that kind of intensity is just going to disrupt the flow of the offense all the time. And at the end of the day, again, you don't have a Patrick Mahomes, a guy who's the king of improvising. Geno is again, he's a lot like Goff. He's a quarterback that's good when everything around him is good. So if you start to mess with that internal stability and the flow of the offense, then Geno can get rattled very easily.
And I see a comment in the Woodward Sports chat from DNC ENT. The noise in Ford Field ain't gonna be no different than the 12s. Here's the difference.
It's in the dome.
It's in the dome. On top of that too, when that noise is going on, the defense is on the field.
Yeah.
The offense, they're not screaming while the offense is there. It's a different scenario. You ever see the quiet offense at work? Offense at work? I don't know why it's like that.
Pocket death pipe.
Pocket death pipe. But it's, we ain't gonna have that quiet offense at work.
Yeah.
Ford Field's gonna be rocking. I mean, Dan Campbell, literally, he didn't ask you guys to be the loudest crowd. He expects you to be the loudest crowd. He's telling. He's setting the standard, and it's our jobs to go out there and meet it. Do you think they'll do it? By the way,
I do.
At the all-time record,
yes.
It's like an indoor record.
All-time record.
If I'm betting, if there's any, JB, you're the degenerate. I apologize to put you in that light, but
he always does.
What app has like the most wild props where I'd find like Detroit Lions breaking the decibel record? Is there a sportsbook out there like that?
I don't think there's a sportsbook out there that has them breaking the decimal record, but I mean, I'm sure you could probably find one, one of those underground, those black market ones on the internet. I'm sure you can find one there.
I can see them breaking the indoor one for sure, without a doubt in my mind. The one that does concern me is like the outdoor. You look at the two stadiums that hold the highest decibel records. If I'm not mistaken, it's both Seattle and Kansas City. What's one thing they have in common? They're both outdoor and they got that weird oval shape going. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more of like a, what's that place in Denver where it's like the amphitheater?
Yeah.
Because outside it echoes off the walls. I think that's like what those stadiums provide, which helps them be a little bit louder.
So we just got to push Ford Field a little bit.
Yeah, I
If
can't.
everybody gets on both sides of Ford Field and we just push it a little bit, we can create better acoustics.
Nice.
Why don't we just take Ford Field and push it somewhere else?
Just flip it upside down.
But before we go to break, I got to tell you guys about something, and that's where you can go after the Lions beat the Seahawks. And that's the Lions post-game show with Stick and Maz. Make sure you guys tune in every week. Stick and Maz are going to be breaking it down with weekly special guests. It's going to be awesome, and it's directly after all Lions games on Woodward's YouTube channel, so make sure you guys go check that out. So you said you don't think they're going to break it?
I thought we were going to break from me. I apologize. I don't think they'll break the actual one. Boona, are you in a meeting or no?
I'm about to.
Get the fuck out of here,
Sit
Boone.
down then.
I don't want to miss this.
You think they're going to beat the... You say they're going to break it. I know what you're going to say.
fuck outta
You're a
here,
slap ass.
What?
Detroit Lions breaking the... Sit down. You see him get off the phone and you get up off your ass. Do you think the Detroit Lions, Ford Field, are going to break... They're not going to hear you if you're not on the mic, bub.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're live.
we're live.
You
You know
think
what
we're doing this
time
for
it is?
practice?
We do a show, buddy.
What do you... Come on now.
My bad, boys. No, I thought you guys were on a commercial right now. I'm not gonna lie. I did not realize you guys were.
Do you think Ford Field will break the loudest stadium record?
Yes.
I knew you'd say that.
I don't think it's a slappy.
I mean, it's a 50-50 guess.
Yeah, it is. But I don't think
Nailed
it's just.
it.
If you say yeah,
called it.
it's not a slappy take if you say yeah, though.
Why not?
I mean, you saw the video that we posted on Twitter today at the Silverdome. Like, Lions fans are going to show out. It's the most anticipated Lions home game in how long? Like, almost ever at Ford Field.
Yeah.
They've already said they've gotten, close to it before. Not close to it, but in some games it's been up there. This is the most anticipated home game we've ever seen at Ford Field. Not the biggest and the most important, but anticipated. The Lions are 1-0, just beat the Chiefs. Like, they're going to have a chance to break that record. I wouldn't, being in a dome, would not be surprised if that gets broken.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually, I'm looking it up right now. The Arrowhead, they actually did design it to have higher.
Yeah, they're cheaters.
Maybe they won't, though. It might just be really close, but it's still going to be loud.
Because I just look at like it was the Seattle beat it for a minute, and then KC got it back, and KC dominated it. What is it, by the way? Isn't it like 131 or something like that?
I think it's like 142.
I'm gonna pull it up. Yes, but one thing's they have in
got
common.
1 minute.
Both those stadiums are outdoor.
It's true. It's true.